Absolutely, Don Furman. There is no such thing as fighting dirty. There's winners and there's losers.
That's exactly right.
Absolutely.
Episode 1, The Making of a Tyrant. That's J.J. Scarborough, the elected jailer of Meade County, Kentucky, affirming his philosophy of power. No rules, just winners and losers. I'm Freeman Press, and this is the Jailer's War. The story of how one elected official leveraged his office into a weapon against his own citizens and why he's still in power today. Meade County, Kentucky. Population about 28,000. The kind of place where everybody knows everybody and local elections really matter. In small towns like this, the jailer isn't just someone who runs the jail, they're a power player in county politics. When J.J. Scarborough was elected jailer, the people of Meade County thought they were getting a public servant. What they actually got was something much more dangerous. Within weeks of taking office, J.J. made his first move. The jail employed 2 nurses, one for first shift, one for second shift. According to J.J., the first shift nurse was trying to steal drugs. Whether that's true or not, we'll never know. But J.J. gave her an ultimatum: resign or face investigation. She resigned. That left one nurse, the second shift nurse, and J.J. Scarborough and the nurse that remained formed a romantic relationship. This was J.J.'s subordinate. J.J. made another bold move immediately upon taking office. Bear in mind that prior to assuming the office of jailer, Scarborough had 0 experience as an elected official and no experience in the corrections field. He had been an auto mechanic for 19 years. The next step was to discredit and criminalize the person who he had just defeated in the election, to accuse the prior jailer of financial corruption. Scarborough openly accused the former jailer of theft of funds based on what evidence? An exception on a state audit report. When asked for the evidence, J.J. said that the state had the evidence. J.J. had none. This accusation kicked off a 2-year investigation by the Kentucky State Police into Roy Seeley, the previous jailer, and the finances of the Meade County Detention Center. A 2-year investigation. When the investigation was completed, the accusation was found to have no basis. So, right from the beginning of his first term as jailer, Scarborough demonstrated that he was willing to use his newly found power to feather nests and destroy political opponents. Scarborough was learning that in Meade County, the misuse of power could happen without consequence. What happened next should have been a scandal that ended J.J.'s career before it really started. Instead, it became the foundation of increasing power. J.J. began giving the remaining nurse substantial salary increases. Not small raises, not just simple cost of living adjustments. We're talking about more than doubling her salary and making her the highest paid hourly Meade County employee. Think about the audacity of that. A newly elected official immediately using public funds to enrich his girlfriend. But this wasn't incompetence. This would become a pattern of behavior, unabashedly intermingling his personal interests with his official responsibilities. Because J.J. wasn't just the nurse's boyfriend or her boss anymore. He was her benefactor, her protector, the source of her financial security. And here's what makes J.J. Scarborough truly dangerous. He didn't see this as corruption. He saw it simply as the exercise of power, the power to act, as he affirmed, where there is no fairness, only winners and losers. This is the key to understanding J.J. Scarborough. He doesn't see himself simply as a public servant. He fulfills his role in the exercise of power without oversight or accountability.
And allegedly in Minecraft, elected officials and they're banging the jail workers and their wives find out and actually causes divorces. We'll hear more about that coming soon.
Act 4, the system fails. For years, Scarborough went unchallenged. The salary manipulation continued. The understaffing of the jail continued. He flew under the radar for years. And then, 9 years into his tenure, Scarborough had gotten his divorce, the jail nurse had gotten pregnant, and they had moved in together. Those raises that Scarborough had championed for the nurse were now contributing to his household. The former jailer Roy Seeley, seeing what he believed was financial corruption by Scarborough, filed an ethics complaint with the Meade County Ethics Commission. The case was straightforward. JJ had used his position to financially benefit an employee beyond any reasonable justification. He had violated the public trust. Scarborough characterized Seeley's ethics complaint as simply sour grapes by an election loser. The Ethics Commission hearing was held and found Scarborough guilty of violating the Meade County Ethics Ordinance, a civil law violation. In any ordinary world, a guilty verdict for ethics violations would spell the end of a political career. For J.J. Scarborough, however, Meade County, Kentucky was no ordinary place. It was his domain. Found guilty of breaching the county's ethics code, Scarborough not only shrugged off the ruling, but claimed it boosted his popularity, strengthened community support, and made him more electable.
I've had a whole lot of people ask me how's this affected me and actually affected Amber. Well, I think what a lot of these people and Troy Seeley and even some of the YouTubers, I think they thought they was gonna use this to affect me in a negative way. But actually, after this methods hearing, there was a whole lot of county people in that ethic hearing that stuff. It actually has trickled down through the community. And it's actually helped me. I've gained a whole lot of momentum. One thing I'm going to use that momentum for is during the next election cycle. Actually, I have plans now. Unless I have a change of heart in next 8 or 9 months. I'm actually going to step up and do something I said I was never going to get into.
He dismissed the complaint as sour grapes from a defeated rival, spinning corruption into a badge of honor. Emboldened, he even considered running for higher office, as if in Meade County, corruption wasn't a flaw, it was a feature. This saga reveals a deeply polarized community where accountability seems optional, ethics violations are wielded as political capital, and opponents are enemies to be crushed. In the midst of the ethics hearing ramp-up, JJ had another war going on social media, a war that had begun 6 months previous. We will call it the Jailer's War. In Meade County, accountability was optional, ethics violations were spun into political capital, and rivals were enemies to be crushed. J.J. Scarborough would again act out these lessons when Christopher Ryder entered his jail doors, camera in hand.
And I claim full responsibility, going all the way back to day one, when you and your girlfriend stood out on my sidewalk and said, "You're just going to teach me something." I am fully responsible for taking that comment and going all the way to the top with it, because I told you then, and I'm telling you now, when the dust settles, I'm going to be standing exactly where I am and eating a bowl of ice cream, and you're not going to be where you want to be. I promise you that.
This concludes The Making of a Tyrant, Episode 1 of The Jailer's War. Stay tuned for Episode 2, The the photography war.